Hey guys, today we're going to start quarantine cooking. For those of you who don't really know me, when I was younger, middle school or late elementary school, I was actually banned from my family's kitchen because I set a toaster on fire. So the story behind that is my family had left for the weekend, leaving me with my older sister. She had gone out to run a couple of errands, and before she left, she asked if I was hungry, and at the time I wasn't. But about an hour or so later, I got a little hungry, and my younger self thought, putting a Pop-Tart in the toaster isn't really cooking. Because my mom had 3 rules: no cooking, no friends, and no fighting when she was not in the house. Well, the toaster caught on fire, and me being really young, I unplugged the toaster surprisingly, ran to the phone, realized I didn't know my mom's phone number. At the time, smartphones just weren't a big thing. I don't even think they were really invented when I was that young. Like, we had flip phones. So I ran downstairs where my mom had speed dial set up for me, and my grandmother answered the phone, and I'm sitting there crying to her, trying to tell her what's going on, and she eventually stops me and just goes, "I need you to take a breath because I don't understand a word you're saying to me." I basically scream at her, "Grandma, the toaster's on fire. I don't know what to do." And she asked, "Did you unplug it?" And I said, "Yes." "Did you put it in the sink?" "No." "I'll be right back." So I run upstairs, I put it in the sink, and she asks me about the damage. Thankfully, I unplugged it, I guess, fast enough. There wasn't any fire damage to the cabinets, nothing else caught fire, but the toaster was totaled. So we had to buy a new one. And it ended up with her telling me, "Okay, no more putting things in the toaster. You're gonna wait till your sister comes home and see what you have." And I think I ended up eating like applesauce and goldfish until my sister came home and promptly told me how much trouble I got her in. So my friends have agreed to start quarantine cooking with me so I can learn. I figure it's about time, since I'm about to go to a PhD, I stop eating microwave meals and pre-prepared things from Costco. So join me for the ride. I'm sure it's going to be really interesting. So my roommate graciously accepted my efforts to cook. She says she has 2 rules. I don't poison her and accidentally introduce gluten into a meal since she has celiacs, and I don't start any fires. Well, as we've learned from my past experiences, we'll see about the fires, but I'm going to do my best not to do anything that has gluten in it. So all of our meals are going to be gluten-free until I move out of here, and maybe my mom will then be comfortable teaching me how to cook something. So let's get started today. Okay, so once all that was done, I used a ladle to help me spread out the batter and tilted the pan to try and make it as even as possible. Then I tested the pancake a few times, and I waited until the underside was browned but not burnt, and flipped it over. Then I waited until that side had browned slightly, so not as brown as the other side, just brown slightly, before calling it done, and returned it to the plate. And this is my final product. Look at it. So we gotta know, Maddie. We gotta know. How did you like the crepes?
They were good.
So I think the first round of quarantine cooking went really well. I didn't poison Maddie. I didn't set anything on fire. And I tried something new. Thank you so much for joining me. If you guys have any ideas on what I should try cooking in the future, please drop them in the comments. If you have any recipes with rice, that's going to be really helpful because we have a 20-pound bag of rice or something ridiculous that we need to get rid of before we move. So drop them in the comments, like the video, subscribe if you want, and thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys in the next video.